Vaccinating Ohio is at a low. We have the latest numbers, what it means for our state, and the new protocols for nursing homes. Entertainment is back. Which popular events are returning to Northeast Ohio and the country as cases continue to decline?
Welcome to a city that's never defeated. When the pressure is on, we rise above it.
Keeping the momentum alive after the NFL draft. What leaders are doing to bring people and businesses back to the Buckeye State.
So you've got three spirits in the house.
And it's National Paranormal Day. Why ghost whisperers are now in high demand in Northeast Ohio. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Boy, I'll tell you, it certainly feels like a Monday, doesn't it?
It does.
Rainy and gloomy all day across Northeast Ohio, but it doesn't matter. We're inside, and it's always sunny on What's New. Welcome to the program. We're so glad you've joined us with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Hi, Bets.
Hi there. You know, I got to tell you, Jay, it's a sunshiny day here at 3 News also because Frank Masick is back. You don't see him on the air, but we can be seen because of him. He is our director, and we are so thrilled. He's been out for a little while, but man, we're so glad to have you back, Frank, back there in the booth. So all of us are just kind of in a little bit of a tizzy.
It's good to hear his voice again in our ear.
It is.
It's a sense of normalcy.
It definitely is. Well, let's get things moving today with actually some emotional news. It was an emotional day in court for 2 Cleveland men. The 2 were jailed. They claimed their innocence for 15 years, and they are expected to be released from prison today. Our Romney Smith is at the Justice Center with more on this story. Romney, what's happening right now? I know you are literally in the hallway waiting for the 2 to walk out.
We absolutely are, Betsy. Right now, we are just minutes from those men walking through those doors to reunite with their families. Keep in mind, they were just 17 years old when they were convicted of the attempted murder of a police officer. But 2 advocacy groups stepped in on their behalf and said they believe it's a case of mistaken identity. Michael Sutton and Kenny Phillips released from jail today after 15 long years, surrounded by family who they say never doubted the boys were innocent.
I'm so overwhelmed with joy. I'm relieved that this has finally happened for them. They get to come home and live their lives.
Their case was championed by both the Innocence Project and the Ohio Public Defender's Wrongful Conviction Project. Both groups saying prosecutors had no physical evidence tying the boys to the crime, and this was always a case of mistaken identity. And the sentence, more than 60 years for Phillips and more than 40 years for Sutton, was extreme.
Today means justice is almost here. It won't be here all the way until these wrongful charges are dismissed.
It's now up to the prosecutor to decide whether to try them again. For now, families are just grateful they're home.
I don't even know what to say because it's just a happy moment. I just can't wait to hug him. Oh my God, 15 years is a long time. My only son, my baby boy.
Now, Sutton and Phillips are both being outfitted for a GPS ankle monitor right now, but as soon as that's over, they will see their mothers and the dozens of family and friends who are waiting for them at this point right now in the Justice Center. We will bring that to you as it happens right here on Channel 3. Reporting live in downtown Cleveland, Romney Smith, 3 News.
We eagerly await that, but certainly not as much as those families do. Thank you so much, Romney.
Well, now on your feet at 5. It is coming down. The biggest NFL draft stage ever assembled is now being dismantled in Cleveland after an action-packed 3 days as our downtown area begins to return to normal. Now it's time for the downtown area to try to carry on the momentum from the NFL draft. It's estimated the event provided a $100 million surge into the Cleveland economy. But it also gave us the national stage once again, a chance to showcase our fine city. Consumer investigator Danielle Serino has more now on the effort underway to convert that momentum into even more cash.
Welcome to a city that's never defeated. When the pressure is on, we rise above it together.
With all eyes on Cleveland last week, we took the spotlight and ran with it, airing a commercial that would make anyone proud to live here.
This is the land, and there's no better place to call home.
The ad is part of millions being spent by Destination Cleveland.
We have an opportunity to set our businesses up, for success over the following months, not just over 3 days.
The Downtown Cleveland Alliance and Jobs Ohio to bring people and businesses to the Buckeye State. They're even going to competitors' turf to poach residents. This billboard in Seattle, this one in New York City. And the marketing seems to be working. Recent numbers show Cleveland ranked 5th for cities attracting the most new residents since the pandemic started, and Akron and Cleveland as having the most fixer-upper homes for sale, something millennials are searching for on Instagram.
I think that Cleveland has always been underrated.
Andrea Koenig, who's originally from Medina, moved back to the area at the beginning of March with her partner Natasha. They were living in Portland, but left primarily because of the cost of living.
A median house in Portland, which is like a shoebox size, right? So for 1,200 square feet, it's over $500,000.
But what drove them to Cleveland was everything the area has to offer.
The art scene is open. You can go to the museum freely. And we have some outdoor concerts coming up, which we're really excited about. And the lakes here are great.
Then there were the jobs. With healthcare being one of the fastest growing industries in our area, Natasha was able to get a spot in cancer research, and Andrea could work remotely for the medical company she owns in Portland. All points Governor DeWine wants to sell with a proposed $50 million in additional marketing dollars over the next 2 years.
We'll be supporting Ohio's small businesses, strengthening Ohio's communities, growing Ohio's skilled workforce, and telling Ohio's story to the rest of the country.
Just don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, but after the pandemic, people just needed a reminder, and the draft was the perfect handoff.
It doesn't stop after this weekend. Our commitment to our employers and to those seeking employment will continue for the future.
We're stoked about Cleveland and what it has to offer again.
Danielle Serino, 3 News.
How about that? Danielle working a little LL Cool J into her script. I love that. And she's right. We have been here for years. And Betsy, next up on the big stage, we get the NBA All-Star Game. That's 9 months from now.
Totally forgot about that.
Then in 2024, this is going to be big too. Cleveland will host the women's college basketball NCAA Final Four. That too will bring a lot of eyeballs and a lot of money to Cleveland. I reached out to David Gilbert today. He, of course, runs the Cleveland Sports Commission. And he said now the onus is on his group to continue to attract these large events that bring money and eyeballs to Cleveland. We've proven over and over again we can throw a party.
Yeah, and I mean, I've totally forgotten about the NBA All-Star Game coming. That's a really big deal. So here comes that national spotlight again. And, Destination Cleveland, the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, they're always looking for the next event, the next event, and the next event. And the Rock Hall, too, they're setting up for a great summer. So there's going to be tons of stuff going on, and just hopefully we can keep this momentum going. We're really good at doing that. Well, let's keep on with some good news, more good news for you. This is on the fight against COVID. Our key data points seem to be trending in the right direction. Overnight, 995 cases were reported to the state. That's just 10 more than were reported yesterday.
Yeah, whenever we're in 3 digits instead of 4, that's a good day. Those daily case numbers are well below the 14-day average, which is now 1,514 cases a day. In case you're wondering, it has dropped 500 daily cases in just 2 weeks. Our cases per 100,000 dropped again. In fact, they dropped nearly 8 more in just 3 days. Friday, it was 155. Now it's 147. Vaccinations, though, different story. They finally ticked up to 40% after hovering just below it last week. But even though we're just over that 40% vaccinated line, we have really seen a serious slowdown in daily vaccination numbers, not only here in Ohio, but nationwide. That is the trend as well.
And today, Governor Mike DeWine urged everyone who can get vaccinated to do so. Our Laura Queso joins us now. And Laura, what did the governor have to say?
Betsy, Jay, he said over the weekend, 5,000 Ohioans got vaccinated. But about a month ago, nearly 100,000 Ohioans were getting vaccinated a day. So this just goes to show really how dramatic that slowdown is in the state right now.
We are now at 40.39%. And always interesting to look at these numbers in regard to how we are doing by age. And again, the older Ohioans older Ohioans are vaccinated, obviously at a higher rate. But all the numbers continue to creep up. But with that low number, not good. We hope to see a better number tomorrow.
Again, that low number, 5,000. The governor also announced an order today. Vaccinated employees at nursing homes and assisted care facilities will no longer need to be tested for COVID-19 twice a week. However, those who are not vaccinated will still get tested. The governor is hoping this will push those who aren't vaccinated yet to do so. The governor also had some news about the Wolstein Center. I'll tell you what he's saying about the Cleveland mass vaccination site. That's coming up for you at 6 o'clock.
All right, Laura Queso in the newsroom. Thank you very much. We'll also see Laura again at 5:30. Bets?
Well, communities have rallied behind healthcare workers on the front lines throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The immeasurable stress over the past year has been over and above the incredible weight that nurses have always had caring for critically ill patients. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins reports on a new study highlighting the ongoing issue of burnout among nursing and why investing in their well-being should be a priority for all hospitals across the country.
Stress has always been part of the job for any critical care nurse, but this past year truly tested them.
Without family visiting, oftentimes we were the last person holding someone's hand when they passed away. And that was, it's hard to describe.
Jessica Curtisi felt a duty to push through and care for her patients, but she knew it was taking a toll on her health.
I'd have anxiety about my shift, about what I would see the next time I went to work.
Fortunately, Jessica asked for help and took advantage of the Employee Assistance Program, designed to help clinicians cope and prevent burnout.
They cannot pour from an empty cup.
Ohio State led a study that found that even before the pandemic began, about 2 in 5 critical care nurses nationwide reported depressive symptoms, while more than half experienced anxiety, and over 60% rated their physical health at a 5 or lower on a scale of 1 to 10. And these poor health scores directly correlated with an increase in self-reported medical errors.
These errors are made by very dedicated, caring, committed people who are experiencing their own symptoms of depression or poor physical health.
So that's why it's crucial that hospitals offer support such as counseling, mindfulness coaching, and even pet therapy to help take care of these nurses and help them take care of themselves, and also provide optimal care for patients, because that's really the bottom line. Now, our local hospitals do recognize the need for this, and this Wednesday on Go, Holly Strano will take a look at the mental health programs helping those who care for us. This week, of course, kicks off National Nurses Week, and now more than ever after the year we've had, if you haven't done so yet, please thank a nurse.
I can't imagine our world without them, as a matter of fact, and I think a lot of doctors can't imagine our world without them, because while the doctors are the one making the orders, the nurse is the one making the orders happen. Very important to note. Monica, thank you so much for that. Jay?
Well, coming up next on What's New, we've heard of several shortages during the pandemic. Now your summer swim plans may be affected. We have details about a historic chlorine shortage that's going on right now.
Then there are those who took advantage of extra time during the pandemic to get in shape, and there's those who didn't. Coming up in Pot Break, Will Smith gets real.
And Matt Wintz, a very good Monday afternoon to you. I understand you're tracking a wet start to the work week.
There it is.
Yeah, well, Jay, boy, you are such a good weather observer. I should have you become one of the weather watchers that send in those reports every couple minutes or so. Yeah, it's kind of a soggy start to the work week. Your outdoor dining forecast, you saw those clouds in the CSU cam. Not looking too good outside, but inside's always a comfortable 72 and sunny. We'll let you know if we can clear these clouds out and what the week ahead has in store for you, all coming up in the forecast.
Welcome back to What's New. Typically, we see pools across Ohio begin to open right around Memorial Day weekend. That's less than 4 weeks away, by the way. But this year, water parks, public pools, and of course, homeowners are having a really tough time finding chlorine because there is a shortage.
This Poolmageddon that I call it, it means that we're going to run out of the one most important thing that we're putting into swimming pools to keep them healthy and safe.
Poolmageddon. There's going to be panic in the streets, Bets. Now, part of the problem is the aftermath of Hurricane Laura. You may remember there was a chemical fire that shut down one of the largest domestic producers of chlorine tablets. It happened just as demand shot up during the pandemic. So, of course, prices of those precious chlorine tabs have already doubled in some areas. They could soar, experts believe, by as much as 70% by this summer.
I bought most of my supplies about 3 months ago to get me through this season, and I'm about to have to go buy again, which I've already found is going to be a challenge.
Now, to make chlorine last longer, there's a couple of things you can do. Experts say you can always shower before you get into the swimming pool. That makes the tabs last longer. You can run your systems longer. That way, the stagnant water isn't standing still for as long. And this always helps. Keep pets out. That definitely will hurt the lifespan of your chlorine. Betsy, there are alternatives, too, to chlorine. You can go with salt water or ultraviolet systems and mineral pack blends, but some of those require entirely different systems. And as you can guess, that can be pretty pricey to switch all of that stuff over.
Yeah, there's also bromine that's available, or bromine, depending on who you talk to. That is another possibility that, you know, sometimes you can switch that out with the chlorine. But again, it's all about making the right decisions for you and your pool and your wallet, because this is going to be a little tricky here in the future. The good news is we turn things to Matt Wintz right now. We don't need to worry about that chlorine or the
this
pool.
week.
Yeah, maybe the hot tub. That would be the only thing really that would probably consider dipping into at this point, because it's a little chilly and nasty out there, Matt.
Matt, when I was trying to come up with a weather word, I was trying to play off the pool, and you're going to hate me for this because there's no way you're going to fit this into the weather. It won't be seamless, let's put it that way. But your weather word today is cannonball. Because, man, I used to love knocking those cannonballs out when I was a kid.
I think it's cute that you say used to. Let's face it, you still do
I still do. Yep, you're right. Good catch, Bets. I love to do cannonballs even today.
I was going to say that as well, Betsy. Yeah, there's nothing like a cannonball as an adult. If you want the kids to leave the pool, you just curl up and say, I'm coming in, everybody.
Here we go.
One of the traditional. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, as a dad, doing that when Emmy's having pool parties with her friends. It'll be great. But, yeah, we'll fit that into the forecast. You know, we have no problem with chlorine here. We have that little plastic tub that brings down our property values, and you don't need chlorine for that. Well, unless Wyatt decides to do his thing in there, but overall we're okay. Hey, we got some decent rain today across Northeast Ohio, much needed. We're still 3 to 5 inches below average on the year so far. We picked up to ½ an inch. Some of the spots, areas of Stark County, southeastern Wayne County picking up decent amounts, and lighter amounts off towards the north. Not a drought buster by any means, but it certainly helps. And we've got just a smattering of showers. You just feel the moisture outside. Boy, it's just kind of yucky, kind of heavy outside. We are kicking off as an area low pressure is literally right over us right now. We're kicking off some heavier downpours down to the south. Cleveland area, just a couple areas of drizzle right now. A little shower getting ready to head into the Fair Lawn, Copley area. Getting ready to head over to Cuyahoga Falls here shortly in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Then you get some heavier stuff down in Wayne County. Pretty decent downpours south of Worcester now. All this heading off towards the east, so Canton, Tuscarawas County, eventually going to get some rain out of that. Overall, a very messy pattern on the radar. You look at it, there's rain everywhere. There's nothing that well organized. We've got really a couple systems to deal with. If you get a better look at the atmosphere, if you look at the water vapor, and you can see we've got several areas of low pressure. One here, nothing really, again, that well organized, but all this is going to keep rain in the forecast. We've got storms that will likely erupt near Chicago tonight. We'll have the waning intensity of that probably tomorrow morning. That'll be our Tuesday weather. And then Wednesday, area of energy diving out of the Rockies. That will bring some leftover rain in here as we get it into Wednesday, especially early in the day. But we've got copious amounts of moisture to deal with. That's precipitable water. That's how much water is sitting up above us. We have opened up the Gulf. Your National Zymark hour-by-hour forecast, you can see, here comes the rain and leftover storms tomorrow morning. Models saying just a scattering of some showers around the area. We ought to reach the 70s down towards the south. We were well shy of that today with the clouds. But I think tomorrow's pretty warm, and then we'll deal with more rain as we get on into Wednesday with that secondary low as that heads on by. And then you know what? One of the things you're not going to want to do on Wednesday is a big old cannonball in your pool. Reason why it's going to be chilly. Look at the cooler air around here. That was too easy. I don't know. I didn't really fit that in like I wanted to. But you can see temperatures on Wednesday much cooler in the 50s. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Our warm days tomorrow. Lingering rain chances Wednesday. Thursday we dry out. But look at the temperatures. We stay pretty cool over the next 7 days. Mother's Day. It feels like it always is raining on Mother's Day around here. But you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with cuddling with mom underneath an umbrella. So that'll work out hopefully for everybody.
All right. Thanks so much, Matt. See you again in about a half hour or so. Well, coming up in your pop break, how Michael B. Jordan and his girlfriend celebrated the premiere of his latest film in true pandemic style. And we have some breaking news about Bill Gates.
Then no keys, no problem. We're going to show you what these black bear decided to do to this parked SUV. That's coming up in our Worth the Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to What's New. We're going to start your pop break with some breaking news. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates announced he and his wife Melinda are getting divorced. Gates tweeted the news a short time ago, saying they have made the decision to end their marriage after 27 years. That's breaking news. Now for what else has been making headlines lately in the entertainment world, here's Kira Cotton.
Over the weekend, Michael B. Jordan's latest project, Without Remorse, was released on Amazon Prime Video. And because of the pandemic, many movies aren't hosting typical premieres. But that didn't stop Jordan from going all out. He and girlfriend Lori Harvey flexed for the gram in custom Prada outfits. Jordan wore a brown double-breasted tuxedo over a black shirt, while Harvey shined in a backless gold sequined gown. He captioned the group of pictures, "We were looking for a reason to get dressed up. Without Remorse premiere at the crib works, right? Yes, Michael. Yes, it does." Billie Eilish is the latest star to grace the cover of British Vogue. The 19-year-old shed her signature baggy clothes and two-toned hair for a new and softer look featuring blonde hair and body-hugging corset. In the past, Eilish used her baggy clothes to stop people from body-shaming her. But in an interview with the magazine, she said, "It's all about what makes you feel good. I'm not letting myself be owned anymore." Her new album, Happier Than Ever, is set to be released July 30th. And over the years, Will Smith has transformed his body for countless roles, whether he's chasing down aliens in Men in Black or entering the ring as Muhammad Ali. He's always been in tip-top shape. But now at 52, the longtime actor is sharing his truth. Dressed in a pair of black shorts, an unzipped hoodie, and slippers, Smith shared a picture to Instagram yesterday saying, "I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm in the worst shape of my life." But the actor wasn't met with harsh criticism. Many praised him for his honesty and said that he still looks great. Listen, Will Smith is a legend, so if he wants to have a donut or two, I'd say he's earned it. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I'll say that too, Kiara, thanks. Will, you do you.
Yep.
And that's just fine. Today's Worth the Watch comes from Connecticut. I want you to check this out. Not one, not two, but three black bear approached this SUV, and they just opened the doors back.
Did that thing just open the door?
Like he does it every day, Bets. Now, the homeowner caught the act on surveillance video. Two of the bears opened the driver and front passenger doors. Then they climbed in to explore. There must have been some kind of food that was either in there or had been in there recently. The owners say the paint was not scratched and the bear only did minor upholstery damage. How about that?
Is that a Jeep? That's what it looks like.
Whatever it is, it's a commercial for it.
I totally see a commercial coming.
I just love how he just walks up, grabs the handle, and pulls it like, you're not keeping me out of this.
Then they left the door open and people come out and they're like, "Did I leave my door open?"
What are you living on?
Check your tape. All right,
funny.
that is pretty clever stuff. Well, cities are reopening, everybody, and fan-favorite events are coming back. Two big events are returning to Northeast Ohio, plus where the U.S. stands on vaccinating residents.
Then, maybe the NFL draft finally convinced developers and city leaders what we can do with our valuable lakeside shoreline. We're going to tell you what they're now saying about what's next for that space.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Welcome back, everybody, to this Monday edition of What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford. We had a stunning ending to the weekend. And it was kind of that funny thing, like, you know, we had such yucky weather on Thursday for day one of the draft. Friday started to get a little bit better. It was really pretty. Saturday was really nice. Sunday was just stunning.
Yeah, and I wish we could have had Sunday on Friday and Saturday. It would have been great. I tell you, I actually enjoyed yesterday more. I was outside all day. I knew that today was going to be gross, so I was just hanging on to yesterday as much as I could. It was beautiful.
Absolutely. I posted some pictures on Instagram and Facebook of taking my girls out for a picnic yesterday.
Nice.
Down where my parents used to take me, and it was just like such a great day to be out. And the frost and freeze that we had Saturday morning took care of the bugs. So there were like no mosquitoes, no flies or anything. It was fantastic. So that's going to be changing thanks to this rain. Matt Wentz is going to be along in a little bit with more on our forecast. But we're going to begin this half hour with 3 things you need to know. Ohio State Senator Sandra Williams announced this morning she plans to run for Cleveland mayor. The East Cleveland native said, quote, "I see a city of opportunity where economic, racial, and gender equality is extinguished." She joins a field that's crowded with 10 other candidates.
Canton man was arrested and charged in connection with the riots at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. The criminal complaint filed in federal court today stated John Wright is facing a list of charges. Some include engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct, and parading, obstruction of law enforcement during civil disorder, and making a false statement to federal officials. He waived his preliminary hearing today. Wright's scheduled to be back in court on May 6th.
And the Medina County SPCA and Medina Police Department are looking for the driver of this vehicle. A security camera caught the driver dumping 2 kittens, look at that, just tossed them out, in a cul-de-sac and then took off. They were left in Lafayette Township. Dumping companion animals is illegal in the state of Ohio. If you have an idea of who did this, please call Medina Police. We have that number at the bottom of the screen. That's the one that ends there in 7777. The shelter says the kittens are about 4 months old. They're very friendly. They'll be vetted before being put up for adoption, which should be about 2 weeks from now.
It's so heartless, too, the way he just throws them out of the vehicle. Okay, now to our top talker. The number of COVID infections in the U.S. are slowing down. In fact, we've seen a dramatic slowdown here in the state of Ohio over the past couple of weeks. And that means that we're seeing places begin to reopen. Concerts and other major events are returning as well.
The announcements are coming out. Today, the Football Hall of Fame announced that Brad Paisley and Lynyrd Skynyrd will co-headline this year's Concert for Legends in August. And Lion King is returning to Playhouse Square on October 1st. Those tickets will be going on sale June 21st. And in New York City, municipal employees return to work in person today.
Here's Laura Queso now with a look at how many states are returning to normal.
It's a big day in New York City. All of the city workers return to work in the office at their desks. This, as Governor Andrew Cuomo said, most capacity restrictions will be lifted starting May 19th. It comes after a weekend of reopening, including that huge crowd that showed up for the Kentucky Derby. 50,000 people. We also saw the Navy Pier reopening in Chicago with fanfare and fireworks, and the reopening of Disneyland in California. Right now in this country, there are more than 100 million people vaccinated. 140 million people had their first shot. But there are still some trouble spots that are important to talk about, including Oregon, where there has been an outbreak of COVID and the first cases of what they are calling a mutant variant from COVID-ravaged India. It's been detected in the United States. Even so, this morning, doors reopening in New York City and parts of New Jersey are real signs of life. Laura Queso, 3 News.
Definitely some great news there. A lot of folks, are saying, yes, we can go back, but our companies aren't letting us go back yet. So they're kind of in this little bit of a tipping point right now where they really need that economic recovery. A lot of those small businesses in New York depend on those 9-to-5ers, but the bigger companies aren't quite ready to go all in on the the liability side of things.
I've got a couple of friends who this week are going back to work. Actually, today is their first day back for a couple of friends. And I think, Bets, for us, it's going to begin to start to feel like normal when we open up here. Because when we come in here, the building is pretty much empty. There, you could be, I imagine you could count on two hands how many people are here when we're here during the day.
Yeah.
And it still feels the farthest thing from normal that you can imagine. And when we open up and the building is full of life again, that's when it'll start to feel normal for me.
I like to think it's quality over quantity myself.
Oh, hey, listen, absolutely. I mean, come on. Coming up next on What's New today, did you know, is National Paranormal Day. We're going to tell you what a local ghost whisperer found inside one local woman's house and what you can do if you think spirits are lingering around you.
I see one right about on your shoulder, Jay.
Don't say that, Betsy.
I know that freaks you out. Then, did the NFL draft show Cleveland off? And did it show the city what's possible on the Lake Erie shoreline? We're going to look at what it could be. And we always are thinking about what it could be when it comes to the forecast. And we know it could be like this today, but man, we also know it could be a lot better.
Yeah, it could be a lot better, it could be a lot worse. You never know what you're going to get this time of year. We try to predict it, and you know what? I think we've got a pretty good, decent idea of what's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to rain. We've got quite a bit coming our way. In fact, severe weather, severe thunderstorm watch areas of Illinois. We'll watch that tonight. We'll watch another system move in Wednesday. We'll take you through not just the next couple days, but through the weekend coming up.
Yeah, it could be worse. Last May 11th, it snowed, remember? And it's just May 3rd, so... Hey, it's almost Mother's Day. That means you may be looking for that perfect gift or perhaps her favorite sweet. So here's what we're doing. Save Our Sauce this week is highlighting bakeries.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. And what better place to start than Presti's in Little Italy? Everything they make is absolutely 5-star quality. Stop in for a pastry or order an entire cake just for Mom. And for a list of other bakery ideas in our area, check out Doug Tratner's guide on WKYC.com/Save Our Sauce.
All right, Matt Wentz, good day today for grilled cheese, tomato soup. A lot of folks are probably kind of getting into that comfort day kind of feeling. And if you thought today, I missed it, I didn't do that. Well, guess what? You'll have ample chances this week to catch up.
Yeah, right. Betsy, we were talking about that on our call together earlier today about just how this pattern is just not going to break. We've seen this constant waves of low pressure coming through with these showers. It feels kind of March-ish or April-ish around here rather than May, especially with this setup. But I think you're going to talk about it at 6, how last year we broke out of this pretty quickly. We may be doing the same thing this year. But until then, you're right. Lots of grilled cheese on the menu here across Northeast Ohio. I'm sick of the gloomy news about the weather. Let's talk good news weather-wise, right? So I compiled the next 4 weeks of average highs for you just to show you where we should be. Our average high or midpoint, 66 degrees today. By next Monday, it's 68. Look at the steps that we take where our average high by the end of this month, just in a mere 4 weeks or so, should be in the mid-70s. So we do break out of this quickly. However, we're not quite there yet, but it's comfortably cool. A lot of people like weather like this. We've got general 60s. This is the warmest we've been all day with the low clouds and some of the rain around in Cleveland. We're in the mid-60s now. You see down to the south, we've already broken out into the 70s, and we're going to stay mild tonight. Temperature's going to stay pretty flatlined. One of the reasons is we have a lot of moisture out there. You can call it humid. We've got dew points in the 60s. That's an indication how much moisture is in that atmosphere, so it's feeling kind of sticky tonight. Not quite, it's up to you if you want to run the air conditioner. I was going to say not quite air conditioner weather, but some people run it when it's like this. I wouldn't blame you. The rain chances, though, will stick around. They're very light tonight. I think most of us will stay dry, although we can't rule out maybe a stray shower or two, especially the next couple hours. We've got one last push of energy coming through areas of Wayne and Holmes County right now, kicking off some decent downpours just east of Salt Creek. This will push into the Massillon area, Greene, over towards Canton here, and then Strasburg getting some rain here as we speak. All this moving east around 40 miles per hour. No lightning with it, just some heavier downpours. But the bigger picture, we've got severe weather that will be ongoing tonight. Areas of Illinois, we'll watch that move through Indiana tonight. It'll likely come in here tomorrow morning, and then one last kick of energy comes out of the south Wednesday. So what that does for our forecast keeps us in the rain. Your National Design Martin Hour by Hour forecast. Here comes, I think, models trying to pick up on that activity in Chicago tomorrow morning. That will fade through. We should reach the 70s tomorrow. I think especially if we get a couple sun peaks out there. Today we didn't quite do it, but I think it'll be warm and humid once again tomorrow with more rain chances. Some models indicating perhaps some strong thunderstorms tomorrow. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The Storm Prediction Center has us on a marginal risk, something to watch. And then Wednesday, we're done with the severe threat. It's going to be low tomorrow, but you can see we bring in much cooler air. In fact, we're struggling to get out of the 50s on Wednesday with the wind off the lake. A quick look at the big picture. You can see we drag in some cold air. This is a wintertime setup, bringing the cooler air in here Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That'll keep us in the 50s. And as we get on into next week, it does look like this pattern will finally break. We'll have to wait for it, though. Union Home Mortgage 7-day. There's your rain ending. We dry out Thursday. More rain chances Friday and then again Sunday, Monday for your Mother's Day. And there's that rebound. We're trying to get back to that average temperature that I was showing earlier. It's going to be a struggle this week, that's for sure.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much. We'll see you again tonight at 7.
Well, not sure if you knew this or not, but today is National Paranormal Day, a day where people who believe in paranormal activities are encouraged to gather all together and share those fun ghost stories. And here in Northeast Ohio, we have a well-known ghost whisperer. Her name is Mary Ann Winkowski. And she says that she's always had this gift of being able to communicate with earthbound spirits.
Well, she received an uptick in calls when the pandemic hit because people were spending more time at home and noticing odd things. Mary Ann has a client who believes there's a ghost in her home, but what we found out during a Zoom call with her was Sandy from Berea has 3 spirits around her.
Well, we've all been aware of stuff. My husband did see the old lady ghost, but he's the only one that's seen her, but we've all experienced something.
The old lady is definitely there. She is in, and I'm going to assume it's your bedroom because there's a pretty big closet in that bedroom.
It's a decent size, yes.
Okay. Now, there is also a man ghost in the house. And he is standing where I can see the backyard. It's a dinette area. It's not a dining room, right?
Right.
Now, surprising, there is a young man in the house too. So you've got 3 spirits in the house. You have 3 bedrooms on the first floor, correct?
That is correct.
And who sleeps down the basement?
My middle son.
This ghost is attached to that son.
Okay.
He right now is standing in your living room. So all 3 of your ghosts are on the first floor. I think the woman's first name is either Mary or Marie, something like that.
Yes, that's...
And this is her house, let me tell you.
She is one of the original owners of the home.
Okay.
Have that verified by neighbors. When my husband saw her, he described her to a neighbor who has lived here forever, grew up in the house that she currently lives in. And she said, yes, that was her to a T.
She's walking over to where the teenage boy is, and she is... Golly, she is making a son. It looks like she's rocking a baby. I wonder if this is her son, a dead son.
The story I was told was that the people who lived here, the original owners, moved here after their son passed away as a teenager.
He obviously is getting enough energy out of your middle son, and you have the kids in the house, so he must have been around your boys a lot.
Okay.
She will move things. She will move jewelry. She's very snoopy, paperwork. The man likes to cause a little bit of problems in the house. He likes to break things. I don't know if you've had trouble with electrical or plumbing, or if your roof is leaking or furnace. He definitely can mess with stuff like that.
We've replaced 2 central air conditioning units since we've been in this house.
You know, I got to tell you, Sandy, I think this guy followed you from some other house. I think he's been around you for quite a while. Did you live by a park?
I lived on a street called Park Mount.
That guy came with you from that house.
I don't know who. Wow, I'm so overwhelmed right now.
I know, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, if that was me, there'd be another house for sale in Berea.
Poor Jay, are you okay?
Listen, I am Bets, but she freaked me out a couple of years ago. She came in here and was telling me about all kinds of things about my grandfather, these things weren't public, and she was rattling them off, and I'm like, whoa, Marianne, slow down. You are freaking me out. So what can you do if you're going through something like this, aside from move? And then they might follow you, according to Marianne. Marianne says, if you think there are ghosts in your homes, you do have some options. Have a priest or a minister come in. They can bless the house. Get a smudge stick that burns like incense and go around the perimeter of every room in your house with the smoke. Apparently the ghosts don't like that kind of thing. And the third is to talk with Marianne. If you want to reach out to her, you can head to her website, mariannewinkowski.com.
My favorite part of the whole thing is that the peanut gallery here in the studio, Rob Bob, one of our floor ops, is in the back going, woo, just loud enough that I can hear him.
And I'm saying, when she says, I think it's hanging out in your bedroom, I'm like, why can't these ghosts stay in the basement?
That's where they're supposed to be.
Or the attic.
Right?
Don't stay in the bedroom. That's creepy.
I'd love to get one. Marianne should come here and see how many are here.
She did come here.
Specifically right there where you're sitting.
And she said there are ghosts in our building here at Channel 3. So now I'm not safe here.
They're probably pirates and smugglers and cool stuff like that. Wonder what they think of us now. Well, still ahead on What's New. A very popular restaurant has cars lined up on the highway waiting for their favorite meals. Which one and the reason folks are lined up?
I'm guessing Chick-fil-A. They're always lined up.
I don't think so.
Then the Bowling Green grad that got more than her diploma this weekend. This is a great story. We can't wait to tell you about it. It's coming up and Show Us Something Good. And it is good.
Stephanie, I cannot wait until you get back here in the studio so you can join in on our studio shenanigans during the break, because Jay has got me cracking up and Rob over there. I mean, I can't even keep track of these two anymore. But anywho, it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we do turn to our Stephanie Haney for more. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Betsy. Oh, I can't wait to get back there either. And you know what's great about just the weekend in general? It was a great NFL draft weekend here. And now that gives us the question, when can we get more? The NFL draft experience in North Coast Harbor really showed off what our lakefront could be with concerts and gathering space. And our Will Ewick talked with a developer and City Council President Kevin Kelly about future plans. They both say space to live, work, and play along Lake Erie is in the cards, but the city wants to wait for an overall plan. For why the developer disagrees with that approach, you got to go to WKYC.com and see the rest of that story. Okay, let's take a look at what the Cleveland Browns did for the offense in the 2021 NFL Draft. At pick number 91, they grabbed wide receiver Anthony Schwartz. He's from Auburn. Then offensive tackle James Hudson came in from Cincinnati. That was pick number 110. And UCLA's Demetric Felton, a running back and wide receiver combo, became a Cleveland Brown with pick number 211. See the full updated offensive depth chart now on WKYC.com. Okay, this is unbelievable, but this is true. The world's largest White Castle opened in Florida today, and this is the line to get in the drive-thru. This is absolutely wild. Look at these cars backed up on the highway, snaking around to make that left turn to get in this drive-thru line. People have been waiting hours to get their White Castle, and we don't even see the back of the line in this drone video. The parking lot is full too. This is the first White Castle in Florida in 50 years, Jay and Betsy. So here's the question there. If they haven't had White Castle in 50 years, how do they know it's worth it to stay in that line? I don't see how that's possible.
They're in for a big surprise.
It's 4 square inches of delicious, that's why.
Smothered in onions. Oh my goodness.
We got a White Castle fan in Betsy, huh?
I mean, I grew up on them. They're kind of a Cincinnati thing for me, but anywho, kind of like Skyline chili.
Not waiting in that line for
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Appreciate it. Well, next, one grad got more than just her diploma over the weekend. The big surprise on stage, all caught on camera. It's ahead on Show Us Something Good.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, coming together to honor and say goodbye to a local veteran without any living relatives. We'll tell you how the community made sure he was buried with military honors today.
We love seeing reunions here on 3, so check this out. Tatum Dion, Washington, graduated from Bowling Green State University yesterday. Congratulations. And as she walked across the stage, she was surprised by her husband.
Yeah, that's right. He's in the Navy and was able to get leave to come home from Iraq just for the big weekend. A huge congrats to Tatum on her graduation, and a big thank you to her husband for his service.
I love it. She didn't know anything.
No, she was stunned. And WKYC Studios has a campaign. It's called Feel the Love, where we're asking all of you to share your reunions with us. Use the hashtag reunionson3 on social media, or you can upload your pictures and video to our WKYC app using the Near Me feature. It's very easy. That's it. We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5. We hope to see you then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, the road to freedom.
I'm so happy. It's been 15 years coming. I get my only brother back.
2 Cleveland men and their families ready to reunite following years in prison for a